Thomas Homebrew, coming at you with a beer review. Going local, well, pretty local, Eastern Oregon. Here it is, it's Rippin. It's from Sunriver Brewing Company out of Sunriver, Oregon. Rippin is, they're calling it a Northwest Ale. It's basically an American pale ale. I had one of their beers recently. I got to try, it's called the Vicious Mosquito IPA. I couldn't resist that one, right? It was a pretty decent beer. This one's an American Pale Ale at 6% ABV and 50 IBUs. They make this with premium Northwest 2-row with Northwest Crystal 40 and Wireman Care foam. And then they hop it with Chinook, Citra, Mosaic, Amarillo, and Falconer's Flight. So, sounds like it's got a good amount of hop for American Pale Ale. Let's get it cracked open. Wow, look at that. Nice bubbles rising up. I was trying to see if there was a date on the can. Oh baby, sure enough it is. This was bottled, or canned I should say, on March 8th. Now, you know what? It is now June, and it's June 9th. So it's 3 months old. So we'll see how it hung in there. But it's a pretty color. It's a nice kind of a golden to orange with a full finger, pretty large bubbles on there actually. Bubbles are still rising up, so I know it's well carbonated. Let's get the nose on it. Wow, you know, it's got a pretty decent nose for a pale ale. I like that. I mean, the first thing hitting you is citrus, and you're definitely getting some orange on the citrus. You're getting some grapefruit on the citrus. I get a hint of pine on there, but I'm also getting some tropical fruit. I've got a little bit of mango and just a hint of pineapple on there. Yeah, that's definitely there. I also get a slight dankness to it as well. So that's pretty sweet, 3 months out, and it's got some great hop character. Let's dive on in. Cheers. Wow, you know, what we call pale ales these days and what we call IPAs is always kind of a funny thing to me. There's so much hop character, even at 3 months on the front side of this beer. I'd be tempted to call it an IPA. And if this were in the UK, it would be an IPA. But being that this is an American beer, it's a pale ale because I'm just not getting the bitterness. There's just no bitterness on the backside. And they have categorized it right in that sense for American Pale Ales. I mean, on the back, it just comes out really clean, semi-dry. You get a bit of the malt base character going on, and even that's pretty clean. I mean, the palate just clears out and leaves you just the slightest hint of some hop bitterness. It's really beautiful. We're gonna go for another taste. Right on the front side, your tongue is just hit with a nice light sweetness. You're getting the citrus right away, just punching you real good with a bit of orange, maybe some orange rind. You're getting the grapefruit, a light grapefruit rind. The emphasis, someplace between the fruit and the rinds, to be perfectly honest. And then in the middle of the palate, the mango comes in with that hint of pineapple, just like in the nose. And then as it sits on your palate, you get a little bit of bitterness coming in. It's light bitterness, although I get the feeling this is going to build. We will see. And but that's where you get the pine characteristic and that light dankness to it. Wow, it's a pretty beer. It leaves some nice lacing on the glass as well. And it drinks dangerously easy. Now, mind you, it's only 6% ABV, but this is something probably I can see people popping down several of these in the summer, maybe getting in trouble, at least if they're my size, right? So I'm going to take a little time with this, and I'll be back with some numbers. Well, I've taken my time with this, just been enjoying it. It was a long day, and so I'm just taking it in and appreciating it. And I tell you what, I always give you the straight shot when it comes to a beer. This is a really good one. It's an American Pale Ale. It doesn't strike me, though, as they said, like a Northwest Pale Ale. It tastes so much more like what I call the Southwest. This is like something that would come out of Arizona. And what I mean by that is these Southwest beers have a tendency to be more dry, have less sweetness on them. They really dry out on the palate. They can have great hop presence, but they really dry down. And that seems to be, I don't know why, it seems to be a preferred beer style in that region. And I enjoy it too. I mean, I get this down in Durango, down in Arizona, New Mexico, beers, sometimes in Southern California. this falls really so much more in that category. It's a beautiful American Pale Ale. It really fits the category. There's a light bitterness to it. That's exactly what pale ales are now in the U.S. A good hop presence, not an IPA, but just very tasty. So how am I going to score this? In terms of pale ales, I think it's fantastic. I really do. I was really happy with the Vicious Mosquito. In terms of pale ales, I'm going to give this a 92. It's an excellent category. It's a good, well-made pale ale. You know, overall, I can't go as high because it's just not going to knock me off my socks. You know, it's got some really good qualities, but it's not that world class or quite the excellent for me. I'm not a huge pale ale guy. It's got to have something good, and it probably has to be sweet, right? So in terms of overall, though, I think it's still a beautiful beer, and I'm still going 88. I think it's super well crafted. Here it is again. It's the Rippin. It's the American Pale Ale from Sunriver Brewing out of Sunriver, Oregon. So far, from my book, they are 2 for 2. They make some great stuff. This is Kevin at Clemens Home saying life's too short to drink cheap beer. Sometimes airplanes or jets from Nike fly overhead. But what the hell? We'll still be back with another beer review. Cheers, everyone.